The following is a special presentation.
It's the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot, benefiting the United States Olympic Shooting Team. A head-to-head firearms competition in pistol and shotgun, featuring some of Hollywood's biggest and brightest stars. Tonight, we'll find out who are the best shots in show business.
Hello, I'm Bob Chandler.
And I'm Laura McKenzie.
Welcome to Dana Point, California, and this year's Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot. Now, what you're about to see is truly a star-studded event.
Some of your favorite television and motion picture stars are here to show their support for our U.S. Olympic team who are on their way to compete in Spain.
And we do have some Olympic shooters with us today, and you know, Laura, I noticed that some of them are women.
Of course, women are great shots. In fact, a lot of the celebrity shooters you'll see today are women, like me.
You?
Uh-huh. Now, I know you're great at golf. You were with,
Yeah.
don't laugh, you were with the Oakland Raiders. You were all-pro or all-American or whatever. But this is my sport, and I'm proud of it.
Okay, listen, I never argue with a woman who knows how to handle a gun. And speaking of handling guns, standing by right now out at the Coda Valley Gun Club where the celebrities are warming up is the man for whom this event is named, Charlton Heston. Good morning, Chuck. Chuck, can you tell us what this event is all about?
Well, it's kind of like blind men describing the elephant, isn't it? It depends on what end of it you pick up. Say that people are here for sporting clays, people are here for pistol shooting, all kinds of different competitions. People here just to gather and exchange information about shooting events in their own areas. People have been coming from all over the country. We've got more of them here this year in the 5th year than we've ever had before. We're going to have to move if it gets much bigger. And it's a lot of fun for people who pursue sporting gun events. And it also raises a lot of money for the U.S. Olympic shooting team. And that's coming down on us next year, so that's very important. We're very glad of the success we're having this year.
Thank you, Chuck, and good luck in this year's competition.
We'll be back with more of Charlton Heston a little bit later.
You know, as we look around, there are still a lot of celebrities arriving here at the beautiful Dana Point Resort.
And quite a few are already over at the Coda Valley Gun Club with Charlton Heston practicing for the big competition.
And Laura, you know, I know that there's one guy over there shooting away, and that's this year's chairman, Robert Conrad. Welcome, Bob.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Bob.
Bob, I know this is your 2nd year at the event and that you like to come out with your whole family.
Yeah, I brought, let's see what I bring. 3 daughters, 2 sons, 1 grandson. That's some of my family. And the wife, of course.
Bob, what's the lineup of events today?
Trap, and then we're going to see sporting clay, which is new. I've never done it. It's pretty challenging, I understand, and pistols. And you'll see competition. You know, the wonderful spirit of competition.
Thanks, Bob. We'll see you over at the practice range. Well, Laura, it looks like the practice range is where all the action is.
Everybody's getting ready.
Yeah, but you don't need any practice.
I think everybody needs a little practice.
Okay, let's head over to the practice range and maybe I can pick up a few things.
Well, our celebrities are going at it, getting ready to compete tomorrow. Now, for some, like Stella Stevens, this is a chance to try shooting for the first time.
I think women can do just as well as men, maybe better. I learned from the instructor that you are to sight your target and to move smoothly and to follow through. And just, that's the way to do it. You're supposed to tell your conscious mind that so your subconscious mind will just hit it, you know.
And others like Chuck Norris put this day to good use practicing.
Yeah, practicing is a good way of putting it, yes.
It's something you have to do on a regular basis. You can't just pick up a shotgun after 6 months and expect to do it, and not even your own gun.
Some of the best shooters in the country are here today, and they're doing pretty good, but it's very humbling.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, this is a mess. I ain't never shot anything so damn hard in all my dead gun life.
Dub Taylor, for example, here, is a great actor and has been around as one of the best shooters in the country, is doing pretty good, but it's humbling him too, so.
It don't make any difference, I can't hit him.
No excuses, you know, I'm just here to have fun.
Great shoot, great people here. Susan Brandt. Now we got one of the best shooters around, Bob Stackman.
First time on this computerized thing. It's very interesting. I love it. I think it's great.
Nobody shoots like Robert Stack.
Where is he?
He's over there. No one shoots like Robert Stack.
It gives you a chance to really humiliate yourself. Normally I get paid for it, but this time I'm doing it for free. So.
Boom, boom, boom. You got to do one of those or you're out of the thing at all. I mean, the ladies will go, you got that? Click, boom. It's all over. You can't even. Andrew could probably win this because he's young.
Can't get out of it now.
All right.
Gonna have to do what I said I can do.
Pull! Huh?
I hit it right between the eyes.
This is great. This is the most successful turnout we've had, and thanks to that experience I had with the Red Sea, I took care of the weather this year, too. You notice there's no sun, it's not hot, no wind. Perfect day for shooting.
Now, while Laura's waiting to get on the practice field, I've decided to get a little expert coaching. Of course, I'll need the best, so I've enlisted the help of Olympic shooter Brian Ballard.
I do look good, though. All right.
Okay. Over under shotgun, you're going to load the bottom barrel.
All right.
You're going to get a nice high mount in here firm, your head down, nice and firm on the stock where you're looking right flat down the top of the barrel. Okay? It's the last time you're going to look at the barrel. Then we're just going to key on the target. When you call for the bird, you let your eyes leave with it. You're just focusing on the bird. You take the end of the barrel, you point it right straight at it and pull the trigger. Okay? That's simple.
Yeah, sounds
nice
good.
and relaxed. Safety off.
Okay.
Good high mount, head down, right straight at it.
Pull.
Good job. Good job.
Smoke. Smoke.
But look at that. First time ever, and I blasted it. Okay, now let's see how I do against Laura on the practice range.
Pull.
Yeah, I am so impressed. I can't
Little
stand
thing. A little thing.
Well, she seems to be impressed, and that means a lot because, of course, she's the expert in this kind of thing.
Yeah. Pull.
All right, now that's the idea. But like I said, Bob, everyone can use a little practice and coaching.
Well, let's see if I can do it again.
Pull.
All right, smoked it again.
Pull.
I asked Kurt, I said, okay, let me understand this. Now, the object of this game is you stand here and you hit this moving target. I said, you know, coming from a football background, I said, now, does anybody come up and hit you while you're shooting? He says, no. I said, well, this is a piece of cake. Okay.
Ready? Focus on the target. Forget about the end of the gun. Pull.
Wow, you know, I'm really starting to get the hang of this.
Over the top.
Yeah.
Oops, missed that one. You know, usually I do like 17. Not today, huh? You know, even though my co-host is just a beginning shooter and he's doing almost as well as I am, well, of course, I wouldn't let that bother me. I believe in good sportsmanship.
A little behind. You got?
You know, I am so impressed with Bob. His first day of shooting, and he's doing fantastic. In fact, this is the videotape of his best score of the day. And since Brian here taught him how to shoot, I thought it was only fitting that we destroy the evidence. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Here we go.
Hey, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's another day. I probably just had beginner's luck. Let me take you to the party tonight and show you a good time. After all, there'll be plenty of people there that had a bad day.
The Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot will be right back. And now back to the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
Well, you're having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
We're at the welcome reception for all of the celebrities and everybody else involved with the event this year.
It looks more like a Hollywood premiere than a sporting event.
You're right. All the stars are here. They had a great day of practice and a lot of last-minute coaching.
Everybody's meeting their team members, they're saying hello to old friends, and just getting psyched up for the competition tomorrow.
I got to tell you, I had a great time today, and you are really good.
Well, thank you. And I have to say that for a beginning shooter, you are unbelievable. I can't believe it. I mean, people who have been shooting 2 or 3 years don't do as well as you do. You're great.
Thank you. Well, now that we've lied to each other, let's go see who's here.
If any low-flying airplanes around, they're in big trouble tomorrow.
Last year we did really well shooting the clay pigeons, and I think this year, tomorrow, I'm just going to shoot them in the box, right there while on the ground. That way I have no chance of missing them.
Everything he knows.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, especially it's going to be kind of hard watching everybody when they're on the line shooting at the same time.
So many people from across the country and from every spectrum of American life here today, because that's what we're about.
Oh, we're all going to do great. Junie Lockhart is one of the best shooters I've ever seen.
Well, everybody's pretty excited about the shoot tomorrow.
You know, you were right about all the women that enjoy shooting. I had no idea that so many famous ladies were into this sort of thing.
Well, you know, I think it's because it's a sport that involves intense concentration and good hand-eye coordination. But a lot of people don't realize how much fun it is until they actually get out there and try it.
Yeah, I'm a believer. As I told you earlier, I had a great time today.
And you'll have a great time tomorrow.
Well, I think we all will. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, here we are. Everybody's checking in, greeting each other, kind of sizing up the competition. There's a feeling of charged energy here as everyone gets ready for the big match.
So, did you sleep well, ready for the big day?
I'm ready, and so are all our celebrity teams. They came out early this morning to get a little last-minute practice in, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, and it's interesting how the teams are divided. Every team has a celebrity, plus a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced shooter.
That's their way of handicapping the team so that everybody has a chance to win.
Well, supposedly everyone has an equal advantage.
But the teams with a good celebrity have a little bit more of an advantage.
And that makes it exciting, so let's watch.
Watch this. You have to make that noise when you pull the triggers here, or it doesn't count.
Pull! Thank you. Dead center. Did you get that on camera?
You did, Ron.
Yakov Smirnoff, eat your heart out.
I'm sorry?
I just got 3 in a row.
You want to be sporting clays at 1 o'clock.
I don't know who invented these sporting
Get your hands off that lady.
He's got a screw loose somewhere.
Oh, this is the most fun. I'll be back every time I can. I didn't shoot too good.
Well, so far, doing pretty good.
As you can see and hear, the shotgun competition is in full swing.
The celebrities are just beginning to take their positions on the range. Let's see how everyone's doing.
And they're off. The trap range is alive with the sound of gunfire as the competition has officially begun.
We haven't begun yet. I don't have a gun on.
There's going to be a lot of live clay pigeons at the end of the day.
Shooting and look at everybody else's shoes, Larry. They got tennis shoes. They've got good. The only one with leather and heels besides. And Armani pants.
Want a gun? Yeah. You don't get a gun.
All I need is a gun, and I'm ready to roll.
Let's get you some bullets.
I need shells, too.
The way trap works is 5 competitors take turns calling for a target.
Oh.
The idea is to hit the target before it hits the ground, or loss.
Which means no score, and then everybody rotates.
Change stations.
Then each person takes turns shooting 5 times again. Chuck Norris is just starting to warm up.
Move too fast.
Pull.
That's better.
And here's lefty Dan Haggerty. A few of the celebrities in this first round are finding it a bit tough to get started. George Papard is using his own gun, and we'll see if that's an advantage.
Not yet, but we'll see what happens later. Now, Erin Gray is a first-time shooter. She and Clarence Gilliard from Matlock really seem to be getting the hang of it.
This is great. Haven't done this before.
I think you're the best one 3 in a row.
I'm doing great. So far, all the squab and quail and everything are safe.
You know, the important thing, aside from safety, is that everybody's having a good time.
Out of 25, I got 108. I shot the back of the house there, and they figured I broke 100, so they said, give them 100.
You know, Bob, it's also important to remember the main reason we're all here, lending support to the Olympic shooting team as they get ready for the big event in Spain.
That's right, Laura, and we should all be proud of the fact that the U.S. actually produces some of the finest shooters in the world. The training effort for Olympic shooters is coordinated here at the U.S. Shooting Team headquarters in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Physical conditioning involving correct structural alignment, leg and upper body strength, and aerobic stamina is a big part of training. Shooters here are prepared to the best of the team's ability for the demands of world-class shooting competition. As our celebrities here today can tell you, one of the most important factors for this kind of competition is concentration. The control of breath and pulse becomes the main focus. Even the slightest movements are amplified at the end of the barrel, throwing the bullet off course. There are actually 13 different shooting events in the Olympics, using handgun, rifle, air gun, and shotgun. In some, men and women compete separately, and in others, as in the shotgun events, men and women compete together. Olympic shotgunners shoot both skeet and international trap, a bit different than the American trap we're seeing here today.
That's right, Bob, and it's interesting that for Olympic shooters, the training involves more than just target practice. I had the pleasure of meeting one of our top shotgunners, hard at work getting ready for Barcelona, a young man by the name of George Hayes. He gave me a good idea of what it's like shooting a shotgun for the Olympics. George, what does it take to be on the Olympic shooting team?
Well, I think it takes a tremendous desire, for sure, and the ability to have a good sense of hand and eye coordination and determination and the time to practice and a little bit of funding as well.
So, George, how does it work in Olympic trap? Can you show me?
You bet. Normally there's 6 people to a squad. In a competition, you'd have 6 people on line at a time, 5 on these independent stations, and then 1 person walking around as he comes off post 5, starting over at post 1.
So when it's your turn, what do you do?
Okay, when it's my turn, I'd step into the box, and I center my focus in front to see the target. Mount the gun. Pull! And I take 2 shots at the target if I need it.
Boy, international trap is a tough game, even for you, Bob.
You know, Laura, what's fun about this is that some of the celebrities are good shots and others are real beginners. And those that you might think would be real good can't shoot, and others that you would never imagine can shoot lights out.
Yeah, there are some surprises here. You know, the scores are being tallied throughout the day, so let's check the scores right now and see how the teams did in the first round of competition.
Okay, in trap, the Conrad family's doing all right with 80 out of a possible 125, and George Papard and Aaron Gray's team has scored 70. And Paul Servino's team also has an 80, and the Richard Crin and Jason Priestley team's doing real well with an 86.
Yes, and top score so far goes to Robert Lyons with 90 and Team Chevrolet at 82.
Up next, pistol competition, where the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot continues. And now back to the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
Well, here we are at the pistol range where the handgun competition is taking place, and the celebrity teams are shooting as we speak.
Now, the event is divided into beginners, intermediate, and advanced shooters. And just like in the shotgun division, there are Olympic coaches here to help people with their scores.
Neil, this is one of the celebrity venues. Tell me what they do here.
What they do is they have a speed shooting event, which 5 celebrities will shoot a total of 6 shots per person and a total of 30 targets. So they'll shoot 30 shots at 30 targets in a time of 20 seconds.
So all 5 team members are shooting at the same time?
Right. And the hard part at the start is to figure out which 6 targets each shooter is going to shoot at.
Who's shooting at what?
Right.
Well, Neil must have vastly underestimated our celebrities, because as far as I can tell, there's no confusion here whatsoever.
The same order, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to take how many? First 6? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are you going to take? Whatever. Biggest target.
You got 5. What do you got? 6 shots or 5 shots?
6 shots.
You got 6 shots. What are you going to take? The 6 targets?
No, 2 to 3 owls. So you're going to take those 4 pins. 4 back there, right? How about this pin metal? And the next. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You're going to move over there, right?
Well, you can shoot this angle.
Oh, you can move? You can move over a little bit. This is my dad.
How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Metal. I'm sorry. The second metal. Funny thing is, you end up second metal. And how about this first pin? All right, 5 pins. So you know where your line is. 5 pins. Yeah, but I can't even see that second pin.
Okay, once each member of the team knows which targets he or she is shooting at, the range officers make sure each gun is loaded, the shooters take aim, and wait for the signal.
Stand by.
Here's Stella Stevens, a beginner to handguns, but it looks like she's doing quite well. And here's her son, Andrew Stevens, who's definitely concentrating. And here's Chuck Norris, just over from the trap range.
Do you know where Bob's line is?
And Bob Conrad shooting with his family. And it looks like they all know what they're doing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's only after time's up and the shooting stops that the referees can figure out the scores. Brian Dennehy and Michael Talbot have already expressed some doubts about their team. And as Chuck Norris walks away satisfied, I thought I'd like to try this, so I asked Neil for some help.
Me too.
So I want you to take me through and just teach me the basics. I've got a co-host on the show that, you know, she's always out shooting guns and stuff, and I really whipped her at everything, and so I really am
Beat her in this too, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, first thing you need to do, especially when you're shooting steel plate and bowling pin, is have your safety glasses on, because there's a lot of lead that comes back sometimes.
Hitting the target coming back at you.
Right. And then the second thing is to make sure you have your earplugs in.
Okay, I'll get those.
Okay, this is a model 686 Smith & Wesson. It's a 357 Magnum. But today they're only using 38 special loads due to the less recoil.
Okay. So it's not much of a kickback here.
Right, there's hardly any recoil at all. All right, first thing you want to do is get it so it'll fit in your hand. All right, you want to take a firm grip, put your hand a little bit higher up in the stock. There you go, just like that. I'm going to come around the other side here. All right, like that. Now, you want your other hand to cup the first hand, okay? You don't want your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot, all right? Now, the thing you want to do is you want to keep this thumb to cock the hammer back, but you also want, after you cock the hammer back, to drop it alongside.
Alongside the barrel.
Right. Because if you ever shoot an automatic and you leave your thumb up here, the slide will come back and tear up your thumb.
Tell him don't miss.
All right, it's ready to go. Now, make sure after you shoot, keep it pointed in a safe direction. Okay. Now, just line up the sights, keep them level across the top, and just squeeze the trigger. Just like that. Just squeeze it really slow. It's not going to hurt you. Perfect. Just keep the sights aligned and just squeeze the trigger. All right, now open the cylinder.
Okay.
Make it safe and set it down. All right, that's good shooting.
Right. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
So how you guys doing?
We did all right.
Shot 5 out of 6 for a beginner. That's great. I'd be impressed with that if I shot it myself.
You did, huh?
Same old thing, Laura.
I'll get your attention a little bit.
Well, Bob thought he was getting pretty good till he saw this. A trick shooting exhibition by John Clougherty and Rick Kennerconnect. These guys make it look so easy.
Rick, you're going to do the backward shot now.
Oh, I could do that. Right.
It's going to take some little explanation, so bear with me for a minute. I'm going to be using a standard over and under shotgun, just like many of you have been using today. The difference is I won't be putting shotgun shells in. I'll be putting something in called Briley darts. It's a training tool we use in our clinics. What it is a 22 blank inside of a cartridge, and it shoots out just a plastic plug, a very lightweight plastic plug, so that you can see where you are in relation to the target. Go. There it is.
Look at that, right through the middle. You know, I think everyone here is starting to feel a little humbled.
Next thing we're going to shoot here is Alka-Seltzer tablets. Common old Alka-Seltzer tablets like you get in the supermarket. Let's go. Got a piece of it.
Well, all the celebrities are impressed, but my favorite part is coming up next. Now, don't try this in your kitchen at home.
Ready? Okay, what do you start with an onion. Start with a nice big ripe onion. Coleslaw. One more. This one was grown next to a nuclear reactor.
Next to a nuclear reactor? You know, I really think exhibitions like John Clougherty's provide a nice distraction from the pressure of competing. As the pistol competition continues, let's see how the teams are doing. Well, Chuck Norris's team is behind right now with 79 out of a possible 150. Estrada, Wilcox, and Priestley doing great with 116. Clarence Gilliard and Lee Purcell's team have 100, and the Yakov Smirnoff, Lyle Wagner, Aaron Gray team also behind with 81.
Krenna Stevens Minetti turning in an 85, and Brian Dennehy not too bad with a 94.
Coming up next, it's the excitement of sporting clays as the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot continues. We now continue with the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
Welcome back to the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
You know, Laura, shooting is not the only thing that fascinates people about firearms. Some are into collecting, and like so many collectibles, these antiques are prized possessions that are rarely shot, if ever.
You know, collecting is so popular, and unfortunately, there's only so many antiques to go around. So limited edition reproductions are the big items now.
Guns like this shotgun owned by Dwight Eisenhower can only be seen in museums, but as our man Harvey Shane has found, there is a way to get involved in collecting prize firearms.
Well, what we have here is actually a beautiful work of art, as you can see for yourself. It's an exact replica gun of a rifle once owned by the famous Buffalo Bill Cody. And to explain a little bit more about it in detail today is a representative from the Franklin Mint, Mr. Jack Wilkie.
Thank you. This is the 1873 Winchester. This was the gun that won the West. As the West was building the railroads and the crew needed buffalo meat, this was the one that was used. And we actually made this very authentic replica with the Buffalo Bill Historical Center, crafting it down to the fine etching and detail on the side. Beautiful solid walnut gun, handsome piece. And it goes to one of the winners of the teams that are here at the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot. Only difference with this gun and the one that was used in the 1800s is this one doesn't fire.
Well, I hope if nobody
so
claims it, if nobody claims it, I'd like to take it home myself. I noticed you handed me a replica here of it seems to be kind of a sheriff's model of a Colt 45.
This was John Wayne's Colt 45 commemorative. It was the gun from his personal collection. We worked with Michael Wayne as we replicated this gun, and we even went down to the fine detail of the serial number on the Colt 45 of John Wayne's 151284. Very handsome piece.
So you're going to choose a couple of winners today, and they'll walk home with these beautiful works of art.
They'll have earned it because the competition is fierce today.
Thanks a lot, Jack. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Harvey. Now let's take a look at Sporting Clays, the third shooting event here today. And with the report, John Ross.
Bob, I'm up here on the hill where the sprawling Sporting Clays course is laid out. Right now, Buck Taylor is taking aim on a very challenging Station 3.
Whoa!
Not fast enough? On that.
You're behind. Everyone's going to be behind this station.
Get out, Buck.
There's tumbling.
If this looks difficult, it is. Even the experts find it a real challenge. And this course has a little bit of everything, including a little white rabbit that hops along the ground, made of clay, of course.
The target bounces along like a real rabbit, and believe me, it's tough. There's Luke Perry lining up. Good shot, blasted it. So now their team moves on to Station 4, and I see Chuck Norris is getting a little advice from the master, Robert Stack. Okay, let's see how Chuck does. Oh, 2 misses. And now Chuck has been doing real well at trap today. This course is tough. Okay, the coach here is giving him some pointers. And he's getting ready to go again. Got that one.
Take that. Shoot him early.
Okay, here we go. Robert Stack, an old pro at the shotgun. Ooh, and he's not happy with that. Okay, well, it's real interesting to see how our celebrities are doing on this course. 10 stations, a variety of targets. Bob Conrad's been doing a remarkable job here, and for a lot of people, this is probably their first exposure to this challenging sport. You know, I got a chance to talk with one of the world's top Sporting Clays champions, and one of the people responsible for bringing this game to America, A.J. Smoker Smith. I asked him to explain the difference between Sporting Clays and trap.
Well, basically with trap, it's a very uniform discipline. All birds are regulation birds. They always go, although they're all going away from you, they're a regulation height and speed, and the same with skeet. On sporting, the birds are thrown to represent the quarry that you'll meet out in the field. You know, it might be a rabbit, it might be a springing teal. So you have a greater, the targets are the same. The basic 120mm target is the same that you shoot at skeet that you would at sporting. But on sporting, you might get it presented from a 120-foot tower coming over your head to represent the high pheasant. Or, as we've just seen, you might get it thrown low in a gully to represent a woodcock. It's just the same play, but just presented in so many different ways to make it exciting. Most of the courses you'll have stands, they won't be exactly the same as this, but you have the stand here basically for safety reasons, because when you've got the gun loaded, you can't come back round and point the gun at any of the people that are stood, the other competitors, or even the referee that's going to be stood by, or the puller. And that is basically, you won't be able to move or interfere with other stands that could possibly be being shot over here. it just keeps you facing in the direction that you've got to be stood at all times. You never come out the stand with your gun until it's broken. The only time you ever load a gun on these sporting course is when you're actually inside the stand, everything's ready, and when you're actually going to shoot the target. And so you don't, once I've got the gun loaded now, there's no way I can point at anyone else. So I call for the targets. Pull.
An exciting sport. Bob, Laura?
Well, that looks like fun. I'd like to try that.
It really does. I just have that feeling that I could be really good at that.
I just have that feeling that unfortunately you probably would be pretty good at it. I believe you.
All right. Well, now that I've made you a believer, let's go take a look at the standings and see how the celebrities are doing.
Sporting Clays is tough. Out of a possible 500, we're seeing Chuck Norris and Joe Montana's teams in the 170s.
My old adversary from football, Dave Butz, is doing well with 224, and the Conrads have turned in 187.
James Sicking and George Papart at 162, and the top score so far is Jamison Parker's team at a whopping 308.
And the competition continues when we return with the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot. We now continue with the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
Welcome back to the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
Now, if you're just joining us, we have celebrity teams competing in handgun, shotgun, and sporting clays.
The scores are being tallied throughout the day, so let's go take a look at the current standings.
These last-minute round one scores from the pistol range show Roy Rogers Jr. and Ann Lockhart's team at a 96 and 105 from Ken Osmond.
Dan Haggerty's team has turned in a 91. Now, Linda Spangenberger is the sharpshooter on this team, sponsored by Continental.
Some people are out here shooting for the very first time today, and others have been practicing. Some people have been practicing a lot.
Inspired by the Celebrity Shoot's spirit of competition in past years, some of the celebrities have joined a club to further their interest.
Don't chip around with it. Shoot straight.
Chip stars Larry Wilcox and Erik Estrada, among others, practice regularly at the Target Range in Van Nuys, California.
Both of you are in the entertainment industry. John's a producer, and Larry, of course, is a well-known actor. And you both belong to a certain organization called TEMSA. Tell me what that is.
Well, TEMSA is our initials for the Motion Picture and Television Shooting Association. And it's an organization of actors, writers, directors, producers, film technicians, people in the motion picture and television industries who have, we believe, a responsibility to educate and to inform people about gun safety, about sport shooting. It's fun, it's safe, it's designed for sport.
Larry, do a lot of celebrities belong to this club?
Yeah, there's quite a few celebrities. In fact, my partner Erik Estrada is in this, and there's a lot of other people, producers, directors, writers, directors of photography, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a good place to have a little camaraderie established, talk about business, and at the same time have some competition.
Is there a competition between, say, producers and actors?
Absolutely. Right, actors are the best. But he's my protege. Almost the best.
Laura, you can really see how a little preparation off the range can add to team camaraderie.
You bet. Strategies and cooperation can easily be worked out, especially in the case of teams practicing together.
That's right. It makes the shooting more competitive, and it makes the whole event more fun, as Senator Phil Gramm explains.
I never managed to win. They rigged the rules to guarantee that true talent doesn't out. But a lot of people seem to have fun. We have a lot of different activities, and actually a lot of people come out that hadn't shot before, get involved, take lessons, come back, win the next year.
Well, one team hoping to win this year is getting ready to go up now on Trap Range 3.
It's the Richard Crenna, Jason Priestley team, and they did real well in preliminaries yesterday.
Now, Dave Butz's team just finished. They've got an 87, which will probably put them into the semifinals.
And there's Charlton Heston congratulating Dave on his high score.
Okay, and Team 2 is ready on the firing line. Now, the scorekeeper's ready as well.
And here they go. Now remember, each hit counts 1 point. There's Jason Priestley. He shoots and nails it.
That was a big kill.
Now Richard Crenna's up. He takes aim, dead center.
And then gives that pose of satisfaction. This team so far is racking up a solid score. And it looks like Jason Priestley is getting ready to go again. Ooh, and I think he winged it, but that counts, doesn't it,
Yeah,
Laura?
that definitely counts as a hit.
All right. Yeah, it's hard to tell at first.
Okay, and now it's time for the team to rotate. Each shooter moves one position to the right.
And while they're rotating, let's look again at that last Jason Priestley shot.
It almost looks like a miss.
But yeah, you can see it here. He just wings it. The target definitely splits in two pieces.
Right, there's the hit. And there are the two distinct pieces.
The scorekeepers and referees really have to keep their eyes open. Okay, and the rotation is completed. Everyone has taken a new position, and they're ready to go again. That was a hit. And here goes. Jason Priestley is up again.
Ooh, that was a miss, I believe, yeah. He's not too happy.
You're right, Laura. It looked like he stopped his continuous follow-through.
I think you're right, Bob. Let's look at it again. Now see how Jason follows the target, then his gun stops right before the shot. Watch Dave Butz, who was shooting at doubles earlier, and see how he follows through on the target all the way.
Well, Big Dave dusts it, and now Richard Crenna shoots and gets that one.
Yeah, and it's time to rotate again.
And as they rotate, we go next door to Trap Range 2, where Jamison Parker's team has just finished. They got a final score of 85, which is also pretty good.
Laura talked with Wayne LaPierre of the NRA about the celebrity shoot.
Wayne, what do you think of the event this year?
Well, I think it's wonderful that so many people from the Hollywood community are willing to come out and donate their time and their effort and have a lot of fun. I mean, shooting is it's outstanding and it's fun, and they're having a good time here.
How have the celebrities shown their support?
Well, one thing they've done, which has a real positive impact, is they've donated their time to do safety spots aimed at children, letting them know that regardless of what they see on TV, guns aren't toys, and if you see one, don't touch it, call an adult immediately. And we have had letters from parents around the country saying, we want to thank you for putting those spots on the air. They've had an impact on my child in terms of safety awareness with firearms, and that's important.
And who are some of the celebrities that have done the spots?
Christian Hodge, Susan Howard from Dallas, Charlton Heston, Gerald McCraney from the TV show Major Dad, and Paul Servino from Dick Tracy and Goodfellas, and many others.
Wayne, why does the NRA sponsor the celebrity shoot?
Well, the number one reason, Laura, is it helps the United States Olympic shooting team, and we're all rooting for them next year, and we're proud of them. The second reason is it's a positive showcase for the shooting sports in America. I mean, when folks turn on their TV, they should realize that the people in Hollywood engage in firearms ownership and shooting and recreational activities just like their neighbors do back home, in whether it's Montgomery, Alabama or Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. 70 million Americans own firearms, participate in the shooting sports, and they do so here in Hollywood also.
Now, what is the NRA's involvement in the Olympic shooting team?
The NRA is the governing body for the United States Olympic shooting team, so we are not only the governing body, but we help fund it by raising money throughout the country through the ISDF Foundation, which subsidizes and funds the shooting team.
We are really getting down to the wire now. It looks like most of the teams have completed their first round of competition, and they're just adding up the scores now.
Now this is where we find out who the 4 best teams are for the semifinal shoot-off. So let's go see who made the first cut.
Okay, going into the shoot-off from Trap, so far it's the Kick Drugs Out of America team and the Crenna Priestley team.
And in pistols, we have Team Colt and the Guns and Ammo team. We seem to have a strong Beverly Hills 90210 presence here. And Jamison Parker's Sporting Clays team is still in the lead with a mighty 308.
They'll be the ones to beat in the shoot-off.
Coming up next, the semi-final shoot-off when we return right after this. We continue now with the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
All right, we're back, and things are really heating up. The competition is down to the 4 best teams, the semifinals, and they're competing right behind us.
Why are you whispering?
Don't you have to whisper at these competitions?
No, it's not like a golf game. Besides, everyone's wearing earplugs.
That's why I thought everybody was whispering.
Okay.
Well, this is the event that will determine the 2 best teams.
Cute, real cute.
You're going to have a sporting clay machine behind this high house over here. You'll have another sporting clay machine behind this low house over here. You got the trap house out in front of you. 2 targets from your left, 2 targets from your right, 1 in the center, all on call. All at the same time. How you approach it, your strategy and all that is up to you. Each shooter loads 1 shot. 5 shots, 5 targets.
We all stay on the same station.
No, you're going to line up just like you would shooting a regular round of American trap.
You rotate.
Right.
Okay, well, with the rules out of the way, here we go with the first round of the trap shoot-off.
Whoa!
With that position completed, they rotate to the next spot.
Every throw puts 5 clay pigeons in the air, and as you can see, not too many are coming down in one piece.
Well, that was great. Now let's take a look at what's going on in the pistol shoot-off.
Okay, this is it. That was some shooting.
It really was. Now, here are the 4 teams that are going to be going into the finals.
Our semifinal shoot-off shows Team NRA headed up the trap competition with 90 out of 125.
They'll go up against Jamison Parker's team, who came in just behind with an 89. Out of the running now is the Dave Butz James Sicking team, who got an 87, and also the Crinna Priestley team, whose semifinal score was 86 out of 125.
In pistol, the top team in the semifinals was Team Chevrolet with 116 out of 150, shooting their way into the finals against Ken Eddie Haskell Osmond's team, who shot a 105.
And Clarence Gilliard, Lee Purcell, and Ian Ziering just missed it with a score of 100, as did Luke Perry's team with a semifinal effort that got them 101. Not quite good enough.
Now in sporting clays, Jamison Parker's holding the lead, his team going into the finals. Their opponents, both Richard Crennas, who scored a 261 in the semis.
Proving that practice does pay off, edging out C.W. Kressler's team and the Chips team with Erik Estrada and Larry Wilcox.
This has to be a difficult event, as most teams are only averaging half of the possible score.
Charlton Heston was among those who told us about his involvement with the NRA and the celebrity shoot.
I didn't even know of the NRA when I started shooting as a kid up in Michigan. It was founded first by President Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt that is, a long time ago, but to support shooting, to see that there were people pursuing shooting sports in this country. And its primary purpose is to engage in those activities and to get people together that are interested in them. There's some 70 million gun owners in the country. That's more than a third of the population. And we are just here to see that happens.
I feel it's very important that all the celebrities and people that support the industry are here today to promote the industry of firearms and as a sport. I think the entire industry has had in the last couple of years a very negative reaction to it, and as you can see by the wonderful, wonderful day we're having here today, that celebrities and sponsors of celebrities are having a wonderful time showing that firearms and shooting can be a fun sport. There's no question about it. And I think you'll find if you talk to a lot of celebrities that are here, they're having a wonderful time getting involved in the shooting industry. That's correct.
Shooting is a lot of fun and a true sport, and people should accept it that way. Guns are good. They're fun. Guns are fun.
I'm glad I finally know how to hold one.
It's a good sport. Gun shooting is a very good sport, as long as you know the safety factors in it.
Safety is our prime concern in any type of activity regarding guns. This particular event is great because we have all different levels of people, from, like you said, professionals to intermediates to advanced to people who had never picked up a gun before. And we have enough control over what they're doing here that they're absolutely safe at all times, and they are learning no matter what level they're at.
In the world of firearms, and especially here at the event at the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot, there's a tremendous amount of people here that are teaching safety to celebrities, both in shooting and in the handling of firearms and proper use of firearms. And I think this is extremely important for all people that do get involved with firearms.
All you have to do is just open your eyes and open your ears and listen to what's happening here at the NRA shoot. It's a fantastic weekend. This is a fantastic day. They love the competition. They love the love and affection, and they love a above all, what it's doing it for is for the Olympic shooting team. The NRA is putting up the funds for it, and all these people in one way or another are contributing. And that's what it's for, and you folks should know about it because it's good for America.
We're not on the same team. No. Competitors. Well, we are basically, we're on the same team.
Basically on the same team, and that's, you got that.
I believe that it is a good thing for free citizens to exercise their right to disport themselves with firearms, to be conversant in the use of firearms.
My second year here, it's the first year bringing my boys, and they're enjoying themselves very much. And if you're going to learn how to shoot a gun, they better learn safely, and this is the best place to do it. And know that you're helping the United States Olympic team and supporting the NRA by doing that. So.
My fiance was just saying, well, looks like we're going to go out and buy some handguns, huh, honey? I went, yeah, I like this. Yeah, no, it's a terrific sport. It's wonderful focus, concentration, getting you in touch with yourself and your emotions, because the whole thing is to keep your adrenaline down and keep your focus.
Definitely a privilege of American people. Soviets don't have that opportunity, and I think it's a compliment to American society to be able to trust people to have guns and shoot them.
We're both lifetime members of NRA. Did you hear me? Help us out, we need it.
Darn right.
Wow, this is exciting. The finals. Who do you think's going to win?
Well, you know, I never really pick until after the competition.
Well, that's good. Then you're never wrong.
I love to win. You know, it looks like they're just about ready to start the shoot-off, so let's go join them.
You can feel the tension starting to build. The ranges are getting crowded with spectators.
Now this is what everybody's been waiting for. And here they go.
Hey, we got him!
Yes!
Yes! Now in the final shoot-off for a pistol, they're doing things a bit differently than in trap. Each shooter fires by himself instead of with his team at 6 targets in a timed shoot.
Well, basically, it's almost set up like the police academies around the country. They, rather than just having you stand there and shoot a target, they built the Mercantile Bank and the Jersey Lily. See, this is a gun club where the cowboys really come out and do this. And they have fun doing it, walking around stalking these things. Pull a chain, bring it back up. It looks easy, but when you stand there, it's not as easy as it looks in movies. Movies, they pull a gun, they shoot in the hip, and they go crazy and knock a guy 90 feet.
All right.
You can miss from 3 feet.
When you hear the whistle, you start. When you hear the whistle, you stop.
Okay,
you got a 15-second time window, so you don't have any real time pressure.
Laura, you may have noticed the referees here are all dressed like cowboys. Well, I got a chance to talk to one of the guys whose nickname is Hipshot.
I know you're part of a club. Tell us about it. We're part of the Single Action Shooting Society. We are here at the Celebrity Shoot this weekend officiating the pistol portion of the match. Our basis is a bunch of people that like to dress cowboy, have played various shooting sports in the past, and have found that the old ways are the best. We've created a fantasy world in our shooting competition that lets us grow up and play cowboys and Indians like we used to. And then the guns are either original, early guns. This is a Colt, but a number of people shoot replicas.
Though here strictly to officiate, these folks do shoot competitively as well.
And how you shoot, I don't really care as long as it's safe. It's just for fun.
Okay, here they go, the pistol finals.
That was a hit.
Very nice shooting.
Oh! Hey, Mark! Hey, Mark, how many? 5, 11.
Everybody get set.
11.
4.
6 or 6. Sweetness.
Sweetness.
All right. I think we should.
It's not for fun, it's for real. There'll be a whistle, Eric.
All right.
Nobody touch
You tell me when you're ready.
Hold on.
Shooters ready! Set!
We got 6 here.
Shooting. Congratulations.
6! started early. He said ready, go, and then the bell came on. Somebody shot on the word set.
Well, it looks like there's some kind of disagreement.
Is there an argument about this?
Yes.
Now, what's the controversy? What? Because I mean, you hit him or you don't, right?
No, it's a. What do you say, Rick?
We'll find out what the controversy is right after this message.
Award-winning accommodations, cuisine, and service on the Pacific Ocean. California's Riviera between Los Angeles and San Diego. Dana Point Resort. Call for reservations toll-free, 1-800-533-9748. And now, this year's winners in the Charlton Heston Celebrity Shoot.
Okay, just before we went to commercial, a controversy broke out. Now, it looks like there was a possible penalty in the pistol finals. This is very serious.
Neither team has paid me anything yet. So
I have seen
no money
cash.
has changed
I've seen no cash at all.
What? The referees are accepting a bribe? I knew you couldn't trust a guy in suspenders.
Well, what we're really deciding is there going to be a two-way shoot-off or a three-way shoot-off.
No. The determination has been made that there's a one-target penalty for the early shot.
Yeah, right.
So team number 23 is the winner.
All right. Okay, tell us what the little controversy over there was.
The controversy was that the team that competed against us, we had equal scores at the end, but one shooter started to fire before the whistle went off. So in essence, he was like using more than his 15 seconds.
Okay, you guys, what just happened back there?
Well, we got stoked and I popped off an early shot.
Ah.
It was a travesty of justice is what it was. The kangaroo court over there just ripped our title away from us.
Don't mince words. Tell them how you feel.
I am.
So while the Jason Priestley, Erik Estrada, Larry Wilcox team won first place in the individual pistol competition earlier, the team with Ken Osmond, Marion Hammer, and Congressman Bill Brewster came out with top score in the shoot-off. The early shot fired before the whistle by a member of the Priestley Estrada Wilcox team was disqualified, plus another shot deducted as penalty, leaving them 2 shots behind.
Now here's how it all worked out. The winners in trap with a 90 out of a possible 125 were Robert Lyons, Leslie Easterbrook, John Fasano, C.W. Kressler, and Wayne LaPierre.
In pistol, we just saw the verdict. Team Chevrolet came out number 1 in the individual pistol competition, but came in just behind the Unified Sportsmen of Florida team in the shoot-off.
And in sporting clays, no team was able to top the 308 scored by Jameson Parker, Gary Morris, Steve D'Souza, Jim McWilliam, and team captain Michael Macchio.
What a great day. This was a fantastic send-off to our United States Olympic team who'll be competing in Spain.
I know I enjoyed it. Mr. Heston, how do you feel the event went this year?
I think it was fabulous. The biggest event we've had. It was timed perfectly to support the U.S. Shooting team in Barcelona at the Olympics next summer, and I couldn't have asked for better. Everyone seemed to have had a good time. We had winners and losers, but what was important, we had contestants. And I think it's important to thank Bob Conrad for being our chairman here this year, too. A marvelous job.
Well, I think your presence always makes the event extra special.
Well, no, what I really was here for, and I'm glad to take credit for it, you notice what a nice soft day it's been, you know, perfect, still, no winds, happy to do it for you. Nice
Beautiful.
weather.
You brought this weather with you.
Entirely welcome.
Okay, well, somebody had to bring it, so it might as well be you, since your name's on the event. Yeah. And we hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you next year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take it easy.
For more information on shooting events in your area, write the National Rifle Association, 1600 Rhode Island Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20036. 1600 Rhode Island Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C. 20036. Or call the National Rifle Association at 202-828-6000. 202-828-6000.